Welcome to the Midweek Brisbane update on the Brisbane Channel. This update is brought to you by local Brisbane business Wise and Silent Travel Insurance. It'll be a short but packed one this week with an update to Olympics funding, a new challenge to Victoria Park Stadium, talk of military counter-drone measures for Brisbane skies, funding for new residential areas in Brisbane, power wins in Ipswich, and two initiatives, one intended to help job seekers upskill and enter the workforce, and the other to support schools as they deal with student behaviour and bullying issues. Also, we'll let you know about free cybersecurity awareness training being made available to small businesses in the construction industry. Kinda niche, but I'm sure there's someone out there watching who may benefit. We'll start with the 2032 Olympics related updates. The federal and state governments have just signed an intergovernmental agreement, or IGA, which outlines how the two bodies will cooperate to deliver the Olympic and Paralympic Games in 2032. The $7.1 billion Games venue infrastructure program will include a capped contribution of $3.435 billion from the federal government. But one interesting part of the agreement is that there are a number of conditions that have been placed on the Commonwealth funding. The first condition is that the Queensland government will manage projects with a view to maintain stakeholder and community support. Often it can seem that the majority of Queenslanders are against the Games being held here, but it could be the case that it's the minority that are the most vocal. I'm running a poll on the Brisbane Channel's Posts tab to gauge the level of support for the Games among Queenslanders, so it'd be great if you could go and vote after watching this video, and we'll be able to get more of a sense of the general mood among people living in Greater Brisbane and beyond, as I know we have people with a wide range of political persuasions and varying demographics that regularly watch this channel. At the time of recording this video, around 65% are in favour of the Games. Other conditions mentioned with regard to the agreement between the two levels of government include the inclusion of Commonwealth representatives on the Brisbane 2032 Organising Committee Board, as well as the development and delivery of a comprehensive stakeholder engagement plan for the Victoria Park precinct, and a new precincts plan with a focus on improving access to green space. That leads us to the next Olympics update with a new legal challenge against the development of Victoria Park by the Yagara Maganjin Aboriginal Corporation. They say the area is a place of great cultural significance to the Yagara people, with ancient trees, artefacts and important ecosystems, as well as the possibility of ancestral remains. Parts of the park are protected under Queensland's Heritage Act, but as mentioned in a previous update here on the Brisbane Channel, the state government passed legislation that allowed them to bypass 15 planning laws, including the Aboriginal Cultural Heritage Act, in the development of Olympic venues. However, this challenge is based on Section 10 of the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Heritage Protection Act, which is under Commonwealth law with the Federal Environment Minister having jurisdiction. While the federal government has expressed support of the stadium at Victoria Park, they've also said that appropriate consultation would be undertaken with stakeholders, including affected communities and First Nations groups. The Brisbane Channel will keep an eye on things and keep you updated, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out. The final Olympics-related update is that in an address during a Queensland Media Club lunch here in Brisbane, the Defence Industry Minister Pat Conroy announced the acquisition of counter-drone technology, but added that he foresaw the tech being used for civilian applications, including the protection of venues during the 2032 Olympic and Paralympic Games.
The ADF counter-drone capabilities will be available to be used at events such as the 2032 Brisbane Olympic Games. Let me repeat that. We're writing into the contracts and the submissions around this capability that they have interoperability with civilian uses so that they can be used in conjunction with the state government to protect sites engaged in the Brisbane 2032 Olympics.
This video is sponsored by the winner of Best International Travel Insurance for Value in Finder's 2024 Travel Insurance Awards, and they're based right here in Brisbane. Wise and Silent Travel Insurance won the 2024 Value Award because it costs less on average, but covers you for more. They're also the official travel insurance provider for Australian passengers on Scoot Airlines. Backed by a global insurance provider and a 24/7 medical assistance team, the rave reviews on Trustpilot confirm you can travel with total peace of mind if you choose Wise and Silent for your next overseas trip. Click this QR code or the link in the video description to get an exclusive 10% discount on your premium. The next update is about a couple of areas we can expect to see new communities popping up in Brisbane, with almost 1,300 homes planned in Rochdale. The state government has granted Brisbane City Council funding for infrastructure such as roads and drainage for 2 areas under their Residential Activation Fund. $47 million will go towards the $57.4 million extension of Gardner Road, which will unlock 685 new homes. And the state government will also fully fund the $14.7 million Rochdale and Ford Road stormwater project, which will provide drainage to another 600 new homes. Over to Ipswich, where CleanCo's Swanbank E gas-fired power station has seen its power output exceed operational expectations for the first time, after an $80 million upgrade and maintenance program that was completed late last year. The station is on the site of a former coal-powered station. It's also the site of a new battery storage facility that we mentioned in an update video earlier this year. So far, all the battery units have arrived and they're now being connected to each other and the network. Once that's complete, the system can be tested before going live. It takes a lot of time and effort to put together these now bi-weekly updates on the channel, and giving this video a thumbs up helps it reach more people, which makes it a bit more worthwhile. You can also say thanks by following the link here to buy me a coffee, or support the channel by becoming a member, which also gets you access to extra perks. Thanks to these members for their continued support. Next, 2 state government initiatives that will affect people across Greater Brisbane. Firstly, the Workforce Participation Fund has given grants to a range of organisations dedicated to helping disadvantaged job seekers connect with suitable employers. These organisations include Regional Development Ipswich and West Moreton, whose Women in Agriculture project will create accessible entry-level pathways for up to 100 women in the agriculture workforce, and the Australian Brick and Block Laying Training Foundation, whose Lay the Way project offers a pre-apprenticeship program for up to 36 job seekers in areas including Logan and Ipswich, so participants can confidently transition to a Certificate 3 in bricklaying. The second state government initiative is the Behaviour Boost, which aims to support schools with funds to implement behaviour management strategies and behaviour-related professional development programs. The program started 6 months ago and has now been locked in as an annual allocation of $45 million each year for schools across the state, as well as an additional $2.5 million for state schools for support for professional development for school-based staff with key behaviour management roles. Cresta Richardson, president of the Queensland Teachers Union, says that while any funding for state education is welcomed, this funding is spread across thousands of schools statewide, and that smaller grants have little impact on achieving the widespread change needed to make our schools safe. I've put the full statement in the video description. Now to the offer of free cybersecurity training for small and family businesses in the construction industry. They'll be the first to be able to take advantage of industry-specific training. It's part of a program designed to equip small business owners and their teams with the skills and confidence they need to safeguard against cybercrime. In Australia, 43% of cybercrimes target small businesses, and as construction is Australia's largest small and family business sector, the state government felt the industry was the ideal starting point for the program. The next update on Sunday will include updates on the Story Bridge footpath restoration, recent wins for Queen Street Mall, a possible new stadium with zero need for government funding, echidnas, support for small businesses in Ipswich, a massive development proposed for Toowong, road revitalisation in the Redlands, and much more. Nah dan ensi Kerala.